Welcome to Canterbury. Whether you are visiting us for a short time or a long time, we hope that your stay will be an enjoyable one. During the course of the next half hour or so, we'd like to introduce you to some of the products and services and attractions which are available here in Canterbury. Whether you're here for business or for pleasure, chances are you'll have arrived here at Christchurch International Airport.
And for many visitors, be they international or domestic, they'll be travelling with Air New Zealand, the airline dedicated to passenger comfort. With a national network covering the length and breadth of New Zealand and an international network servicing 19 countries and 50 cities around the globe. Flying Air New Zealand, you'll always feel welcome, with staff who'll assist you in every way possible. And service designed to reflect that care. Air New Zealand, sharing the beauties of our home. And remember, whatever the destination in New Zealand, Air New Zealand can take you there. On touchdown in Christchurch, you'll arrive at an airport that cares.
The fact that we work really hard at trying to care about our customers, the people who use this airport. We endeavour all the time to try and assess what their needs are and see if we can put in solutions which are going to make this a very pleasant place for them to use and hopefully thereby enjoy.
With such a full range of facilities, your airport experience is sure to be a pleasant one. And who could go past the Cheers bar? Not these two fellas for sure. Christchurch International Airport, the gateway to Christchurch and the scenic South Island. And although you may be far from home, you're not far from the city itself or from some other surprising places.
When you land at Christchurch Airport, you're closer to the Antarctic than you think. The International Antarctic Centre is just around the corner. It's a cleverly designed mix of information and entertainment for all ages. Visit Scott Base, where state-of-the-art special effects let you meet some of the old inhabitants and the new. Wander through the eerie depths of an ice cave to a spellbinding audio-visual show capturing the many, many faces of the frozen continent through a series of award-winning photographs. On the way out, you can pick up a reminder of your Antarctic experience in the International Antarctic Centre shop and enjoy some great food in the 60 degrees South Cafe and Bar. Here, the desserts will have you in a real spin. The Antarctic Centre is not a museum. It's an experience, visually, emotionally, and physically, as are so many of the attractions around Canterbury. Indeed, Bernadine's having a hands-on experience right now.
That's right, here at Science Alive, it's both hands-on and hands-free.
See, the rubber tube is frozen solid.
This is Science Alive.
Here at Science Alive, you really do have the whole world of science right here in your hands. Science Alive is situated in the main terminal of the old Christchurch railway station. Join me after the break, though, when I try an even older form of transport.
Coming up, we take to the water, take in the high life in more ways than one, and Bernadine takes the ride of her life.
I've always wanted to do this, but you know how sometimes you get second thoughts on things?
Canterbury has a population of 450,000, 80% of whom live in Christchurch, which is the South Island's biggest and New Zealand's oldest city.
At Aikman's in Merivale, you'll find they're doing something brand new.
It's a first here in Merivale. An all-day cafe like us, that was a first for Christchurch. Every other country in the world does it. We're just catching on here now. So you can come in any time and you'll get friendly and efficient service.
And what do you get in this famous breakfast everyone's talking about?
Oh, anything from delicious pancakes, eggs Benedict, a lot of local produce too.
So, open from 7 in the morning till pretty late?
Yes, we're open to the last customers here basically. Yeah, licensed to 3 in the morning.
That's Aikman's in Merivale.
All wine starts life here as a grape on a vine. These vines are Mulaturga, one of our mainstay whites. Because of our unreliable rainfall here in Canterbury, most winemakers use irrigation, the principle being that the more water you put on, the more juice you get back. At Sherwood Estate, Dane and Jill put as much emphasis on hospitality as they do in the making of their excellent wines. They've got a full menu, and they've also got a full range of wines. One can go out there and spend many very pleasant hours. While there, their 1991 Chardonnay Reserve is a must.
If you're not happy with your aerial, then get in touch with the professionals, Linkrad Aerials, for better reception on all channels. It happens every year, a classical concert with a difference. In Canterbury.
Situated on the main South Road, not far from the city, is the Air Force Museum at Wigram. On a visit to the Air Force Museum, it's impossible not to get a feel for the history that surrounds these aircraft, and that feel comes from the very special sound and lighting effects here. It's small wonder that the Air Force Museum has won many major tourism awards. And still with flying and staying up in the air, here's Bernadine with something far more tranquil.
But you know how sometimes you get second thoughts on things? It's maybe one of those times.
Once in the air though, any doubts simply fade away. It's tranquil, serene, and you never know who might drop in for tea. On an Aoraki balloon safari, you really do feel that the world is at your feet.
We'll rejoin the balloon a little later, but staying high above the clouds, come the ski season, Mount Hutt really is the place to ski. Among the rapids of the Rangitata and Huranui rivers, you'll find the team from Rapid Action, the whitewater experts. thrilling pace, the Rakaia Gorge Scenic Jet Snowbird. There's no room for amateur pilots here. You need someone who's really experienced.
Well, I've been up and down there a few thousand times. It's very exhilarating, boating under Mount Hutt. I say we're boating under the mountain. I tailor-make each trip to suit the people. Older people, I do a geriatric special. A little old American lady, she'd be well into her 70s. She said to me, "Young man, that's the best fun I ever had with my clothes on."
Well, with that, it's time to leave the gorge and rejoin Bernadine at the balloon landing site.
And what better way to top off this memorable experience than with champagne and croissants? A time to chat about the flight with your fellow passengers, one of whom I found had considerable flying experience.
Gliding, you're conscious of using the wind to achieve height and to achieve going places. With a balloon, you just drift with it wherever the wind takes you. And also, to me, who've lived here all my life, I was able to call out to a few of my mates on the ground, say, "Hello, George, how are you?" And George had a big surprise. He didn't know where the voice was coming from.
But we'll leave the last word to the pilot.
It's like taking a lounge for a fly through the sky. It's an incredible feeling.
Well, we're on the ground, but still on a high. Here's George.
I'm at the base station for the Mount Cavendish gondola. The people of Christchurch raised the $8 million which it took to build this facility, and now everybody can enjoy these spectacular views.
During the 945-metre ride to the top, the panorama of the city, the plains, the mountains and the sea opens up before your eyes. And once you get to the top, there's just so much to do. The Red Rock Cafe is a cafeteria-style restaurant open from 9 until 6 every day. And it's licensed, as is the Ridge Restaurant. Both have views second to none. And the Ridge after dark has an atmosphere all its own. The Mount Cavendish gondola is stunning from every angle. Regular shuttle buses operate from the city. Whether it's the multimedia experience of the time tunnel or the superbly laid out shop, the one souvenir you're sure to take away with you is the memory of one of the most breathtaking views in New Zealand. The first thing you see as you enter Canterbury Museum is the Iwi Tawhito Whenua Hau, Ancient People, New Land. This new $1 million exhibit has just won the prestigious New Zealand Tourism Award. The museum is an experience for young and old alike. The handlebar is an area where children can touch and feel a part of history. And just down the corridor, the bird call, popular with children of all ages. These emperor penguins are the largest and heaviest living seabirds in the world, and they reside in the Antarctic room. From Weddell sea seals and the view from Scott Base, to the base itself, and a tribute to man and dog. There's a sled used by Amundsen, and tradition has it that a touch on his nose will bring you good luck. And you can always select your own piece of history from the museum shop. Just across the road from the museum, on Worcester Boulevard, is the Art Centre. And on Saturdays and Sundays, it really comes alive.
Inside the art centre, you'll find a myriad of shops inside the corridors, art shops, craft shops, cafes, places to eat. It's open 7 days, and in fact, you could spend the whole day here quite easily. The architecture in this building is typical of the 18th century Gothic architecture of many buildings in Christchurch. It used to be the University of Canterbury, and you might be surprised to know that in the late 60s and early 70s, it was very nearly demolished. Thankfully, the citizens of Christchurch teamed together, saved the building, and in a very entrepreneurial and bold move, created the Art Centre. Another very good example of putting an old building of this style of architecture to good use is the club in Armour Street.
As soon as you enter the club, you know it's something special. But what is it that sets it apart?
A good mix of people here. Some very interesting people coming here from all walks of life, and it's interesting to see. It makes the place feel good. It's mainly a club which attracts society.
Everywhere, the attention to detail is apparent. The fine cuisine is of top international standard.
One chef is from England, the other chefs are New Zealanders. Very good chefs, they're all very trained. The good thing about the club is, I think, that young people and old people mingle.
And, of course, there's the entertainment.
Very good jazz. It starts at around about 10 o'clock and goes until about 2 or 3 in the morning.
And international visitors are welcome?
Well, yes, if they want to see Christchurch and the people of Christchurch, you've got to come to the club, because you won't see it anywhere else.
The club in Armour Street.
Coming up, the craziest race of them all, the Speight's Coast to Coast. A real test of endurance. And Canterbury sport past and present.
New Zealand is situated 43 degrees south and 170 degrees east. Its average summertime temperature is 20 degrees Celsius and its climate is pleasant and mild.
The Jolly Poacher in Victoria Street, just along the road from the clock tower, continues Christchurch's Anglo traditions. It has an atmosphere reminiscent of an English pub. Indeed, recently, regulars and friends set out for a day in the country, where the fare was fine, as it always is at the Poacher. There was the leisurely game of croquet, and the not-so-leisurely clay pigeon shooting. It was a celebration of the warmth of the welcome that always makes the Jolly Poacher such a jolly fine place.
This rose is called Iceberg, but what's it doing at the end of a row of vines? Well, it's very susceptible to powdery mildew, which is a fungus that affects vines. So it's the first indication for the winemaker that there's a problem. The other thing is, it looks nice. Wyper Springs is a small vineyard in North Canterbury where the soils are ideal for the production of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Although they've only been going since 1989, already they're exporting to Switzerland and the UK. And their 1992 range is superb.
It happens every year when over 2,000 men and women run the 26 miles, 385 yards that is the Christchurch Marathon. It happens in Canterbury. Sport is a major part of our lives, and Canterbury Draft plays a major role supporting Canterbury sport. Canterbury Cricket. The Speight's Coast to Coast. Greatest endurance race in the world. Rheineck National Touch Tournament, bringing great sport to the heart of the South Island. And supporting the winners, the Canterbury Sports Person of the Year. The South Island Rugby Sevens, where the red and black is always up there. Of an international standard. The Lion Red Rugby League, the breeding ground for our best. And nothing beats Grand Final Day. Enduring to the last, Canterbury Draft. Proud supporters of Canterbury sport.
Canterbury's a great sporting region with loads of sports to try. If you're more the armchair sports person, then sit back and watch the action. Cantabrians have loved their sport since the very early days, and at the Lancaster Park Rugby, Cricket and Sports Museum you'll find a treasure trove of sporting memorabilia.
Coming up, Doing Business, we find out why Canterbury can. And what exactly is going on at the Town Hall this year.
Tremendous shows and lots of international artists.
New Zealand's currency is dollars and cents. Generally, banks are open Monday to Friday, 9 to 4:30 p.m, and most of them provide foreign exchange.
When you visit the winery in Armagh Street, you can go on the wine trail without ever leaving town. A convivial atmosphere complemented by great food and, of course, great wine. The winery has a full range of New Zealand and especially Canterbury wines. But how does proprietor Les Scott go about selecting them?
Well, I like to go and try and taste the odd one. And, of course, wine being wine, it changes again from each particular vineyard in relationship to the season that it has. So that's the exciting thing about wine. It can never be boring because it keeps changing.
So why not wander along to the winery in Armagh Street?
The washing of the barrel, not a surprise really, because these barrels are very expensive. When they're new, a French oak barrel will cost you $1,100, and they're washed regularly throughout the process of winemaking. But as they get older, the wine extracts less of that oak flavour. After 4 years, the barrel's life is over. North Canterbury's Glenmark wines have been winning awards and medals since 1986, and they continue to do so. One of their latest coups was a gold in the Royal Easter Show in Auckland. You can discover the full range of Glenmark wines at their wine garden, restaurant and winery.
If you'd like to get a better picture, then get in touch with the professionals. Linkrad Aerials for better reception on all channels. It happens every year. Cantabrians get into a party mood on Carnival night. It happens in Canterbury.
Standing proud, right in the heart of the city, the Christchurch Town Hall.
Our quaint name of the Town Hall perhaps is a little old-fashioned, but that's what we know it as, and that's what we like it as. Our Town Hall is a multi-facet entertainment centre, and that requires sometimes some explanation.
Fantastic food and beverage facilities which really come alive at night.